Hey guys, I promise I will keep today's notes under 10 minutes because I know yesterday's was long, 19 minutes, but we had to do the unit circle. So you need to pull out that unit circle that you made yesterday, and it's going to help you a lot today. All right, starting off, go ahead and label your notes 2.7 day 2 because that's what we did 2.7 day 1 yesterday. Okay, so this is more exact values. Okay, so we're still doing a lot of what we did yesterday, except we're combining, doing multiple, finding the exact value. All right, let's start with number 1. We've got 5 sine of 10 pi over 3 minus 3 pi, or 3 sine 19 pi over 6. Okay? I bet you're kind of like, whoa, what is that? All you're doing is you're trying to find out what your sine of 10 pi over 3 is, and you're multiplying it by 5. This is just an algebraic expression with sine in it. That's all you were doing. Okay? So, first thing we're going to do is we are going to get our value of 10 pi over 3. I'm going to make it a little prettier. And we want to get it between the value of of 0 and 2 pi, which clearly it's not. So we're going to take 10 pi over 3, and we're going to minus 6 pi over 3. Okay, because 6 pi over 3 is the same thing as 2 pi, and that's how we get it between. So now we are left with 4 pi over 3. Okay? If you're looking at your unit circle, you should see that 4 pi over 3 is in the third quadrant. Okay? So we know that 4 pi over 3 is in the third quadrant. The next thing you should know is that angle right there, I'm going to make it, is 60-degree angle. Okay, these are some things that you just need to start knowing off the top of your head. Okay, you should know that your x value is negative 1/2 because it's opposite your 60-degree angle. It should be negative square root of 3 over 2 because we're in the third quadrant. Okay, so it is asking for sine. Let me draw an arrow. Ooh, let me extend the page a little bit. So they want you to find 5 times the sine value. Remember, sine is equal to y over r. R doesn't really matter because r is 1 in this case. So our sine value is negative square root of 3 over 2. Automatically, hopefully you think this looks a little bit easier than what we just did, or than what we were just looking at over there. Okay? So, moving on to the second one. Okay? Now we have to figure out what the sine value of 19 pi over 6. Again, we need to get it between 0 and 2 pi. Clearly, 19 divided by 6 is 3 point something something. So it is more than 2 pi. So the way you get it into this range is you're going to have to subtract by 2 pi, which I know 12 pi divided by 6 is equal to 2 pi. So our new angle we're looking at is 7 pi over 6. Okay, again, this angle is going to be in the third quadrant. If you're looking at your unit circle, you should have it labeled that it is it's in the third quadrant. Okay, I think I skimmed over this part, but the way you can tell what your reference angle is, I skimmed over this part for the second angle. Remember, you take 7 pi over 6 and you minus it by pi. Okay. But again, we have to have it the same denominator, so 6 pi over 6 is the same as pi. we're left with pi over 6. Okay, pi over 6 should ring a bell that reference angle is 30 degrees. So now our y value is negative 1/2. Your x value is the square root of 3 over 2. Okay, sine, again, is just our y value. So we got the square root of 3 over 2. Okay, now we just treat this like any old regular algebra 1 problem. You multiply, so you got negative 5 square roots of 3 over 2 minus negative 3 over 2. When you subtract a negative, it's like you were adding. And we can combine under, because of the same denominator. So that is our answer right there. Don't give up. I know this looks tricky, but I promise it's not as bad as what it looks. Okay? Second problem we're going to work out. It's a good old division problem. We got sine of 11 pi over 6 divided by cosine of negative 2 pi over 3. Okay? Look at your unit circle. You should know 11 pi over 6 is in the 4th quadrant. Okay? We have a reference angle of 30 degrees right there. 30 degrees should ring a bell that your y value is 1/2, negative 1/2, and your x value, so this right here, is the square root of 3 over 2. So there's my triangle. My triangle looks a little wonky, but you got the idea. So my y value is negative 1/2, x value is positive square root of 3 over 2. The only thing that really matters in this case is our y. So it's negative 1/2. Okay? Next, we've got to find cosine of negative 2 pi over 3. It's negative. You want to make it to where it's a positive. So we're going to add 6 pi over 3. We're left with 4 pi over 3. That's a terrible drawing. All right. Which is in the 3rd quadrant. Look at your unit circle. Oh, I didn't mean to erase so much. Look at your unit circle. Okay. This is 4 pi over 3. Your reference angle is 60 degrees. So your y value is negative square root of 3 over 2. X value is negative 1/2. The only one that matters is the x. So we put that in place of cosine of negative 2 pi over 3. So our answer is 1. Did you know that right there was equal to 1? Okay. Last but not least example. We've got this is cosecant squared of 2 pi over 3 plus tangent squared of 7 pi over 6. Okay? All you're doing is when you're squaring it is you're actually squaring out whatever you got. So again, it's not as bad as what this looks like. Okay? Remember, cosecant is the inverse of sine. Okay, look at your unit circle. What is the inverse of sine of 2 pi over 3? If you said 2 over the square root of 3, you are correct. Okay? The next one, tangent of 7 pi over 6. Tangent's your y value over your x value. So look at your unit circle. You should have negative 1/2 for your y. So that goes on the top. And negative square root of 3 over 2 on the bottom. That's your x value. Okay, now we're just going to square. So you square the top and you got to square the bottom. So we got 4 over 3 plus Okay, save some time. It might help. Those 2's cancel because you're dividing both of them by 2. Oh, there's the bell. Negative 1 squared is 1. Negative square root of 3 squared is positive 3. So our answer is 5/3. Okay? And that concludes our notes for today. And I will see y'all Friday. Thank y'all.